Sonic and Chill. Where is the Sonic and Chill? Here, these are cool. Hold on. Okay, so that should be better. Hopefully. I was thinking we could try and draw some studies of Rogue. That's possibly a mistake. But let's live dangerously. I don't really know that much about the character. But probably a lot more than other artists who seem to be drawing her, so let's move forward in good faith. But today we're doing studies, so let's see here. I don't just want a bunch of pinups. Let's try Pinterest. Also, we have very little time. Okay, so that's cool. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Let's see how this works. Classic Jim Lee. I like how that's Vampira. That's great. It's cool. All right. Morning Sextra. This won't necessarily be super entertaining, but let's see if I can cram in a couple rogue poses. The reference is, it's good. This looks like this might be some Jim Lee's early work or whatever. Not early, but whatever. Definitely shows some of his influence if it's not him. I like the attitude, and I like the pose, but the pose isn't greatly executed. All superheroes have to stand on their toes, of course. Yeah, it's interesting. There's feels like there's a certain amount of like anatomical, I don't want to say it's correcting, but it's like, oh, I wouldn't do it that way. So now what do I do? Do I do it that way, or do I do it the way that I would do? And that's no shade to some of these comic book guys. You know, they give themselves less time to draw stuff than I do, and often the guy who's inking it is not the guy who's penciling it, etc., etc. Sometimes that's an enhancement, sometimes that detracts from the original concept. Something about this thigh is not quite hitting. I just need to be like that. Something subtle like that. Wicked West Creations. I think Layfield did this one. Ooh. Layfield couldn't have done this one because you can see the feet. Right? You're not entirely off base though. You could be right, right? Um, you have. Oh, first off, welcome to the chat. I think you're a new chatter. I don't know. That is an excellent idea for a stream. Is trying to make sense from Layfield's poses and anatomy. Oh my god, that is a really good idea. How did you come up with that? Yeah. That's funny. That would be great. Yeah. New chatter. This is a morning thing that I do where I try to warm up with some quick poses while my wife is on a quick walk. So what I'm trying to do is sort of get a little baseline established. Just sort of see the foundations of a pose to get the essentially get a good start. I might post these on Instagram later. If they turn out competent. Of course I draw them in my style. Not that my style is worlds and worlds apart, but it's by treating these like figure studies, it becomes educational. So I'm allowed to do what I want. Is this your first time checking out the stream, or have you come around before? Yes, I saw this notification through Heavy Metal Discord. That's cool. I didn't know it notified through the Heavy Metal Discord. Of course, I'm a member there, but I basically just post whatever finished art studies that I've been working on. So in these studies, for instance, sometimes I try to like really copy something, but in this I'm trying to get like the essence of like what the pose was going for, like drawing the vibe of the pose. So like if there's more distant, if like I've got the angle of the arm wrong, like I don't worry about that. Sometimes I care and sometimes I don't. It's sort of more educational to practice doing similar but different. Comic book anatomy, especially women's anatomy, is often lampooned, but I'm not seeing huge problems with Rogue, at least with these artists. Of course, it's like with Layfield, you're definitely gonna have some pretty sussy examples. That's a good start. Nice gestures. Thanks. Oh, hi, Arctical. fun noticing how different my art process is compared to other people I know. The way I'm drawing shouldn't be too different from like art school and like what they call like fundamental figure drawing and stuff, like line of action and all that. Ooh, gotta save your work, everybody. Now we start with a literal skeleton. Literal skeleton, wow. I like to start with the ball for the head, and then if I have a reference for it, line of action, and then if I don't have a reference for it, probably still the line of action. This one has a lot of fun gestural bend and distortion. And all this is in preparation for, you know, the rogue character rogue is just in the zeitgeist right now. It's like people are drawing fan art. It's like is this a flash in the pan? Is this worth pursuing? People are definitely eating up some rogue content for whatever reason. I mean, we know the reason, but it's interesting. It's like overtly clear buttocks. Started drawing skeletons from there. Never heard of the character. Yeah, she's an X-Men character. So if you play, like, I guess they released a character for her on Marvel Rivals, and somehow that became super popular. It's really interesting how stuff just sort of, people just decide, oh, now that's the thing that everybody's going to be into. And it's just become super popular, and somehow Marvel Rivals, like, is that thing. Everybody's doing cosplays of all these. It's like some of these characters are pretty obscure, at least from my day, but I was never an X-Men guy. In terms of comics, and the cartoon was cool, except it was kind of a soap opera. And then I actually looked at the comics, and that was even more of a soap opera. All the comic book guys didn't appreciate me pointing that out as much as I thought they would, but anyway, a good set of established gestures here. Still not fully. Yeah, I think I have to make a decision. This leg up here, it just needs to make a decision as to whether it is I think that's just the solution. Just make a nice pleasing curve. Nothing wrong with that. She's a character that's been consistently popular, especially since vintage design that you've been referencing. They have a revived animated series going on right now. I think people missed her old look. I think so. Like with the jacket and stuff. The X-Men cartoon series was pretty goated with all those character designs. I'm going to turn that one off, and let's find... We'll probably only have room for one more. Like, time for one more. Also, these streams tend to end pretty abruptly. I've got a timer. It's like 60 seconds left on it, so let's get a start to this, and then I'll have to call it quits soon. But yeah, there's a fun line of action. If any of you do any of you follow me? Let's see here. Socials. I'll turn these on. Here. If any of you are on Instagram or whatever, you want to see what I'm posting, you can see the socials there. I'm attempting to be educational with this stuff. Obviously, there's nothing revolutionary about the stuff I'm doing, but I'm actively demoing it on stream is something I don't see as much. Or when I see it get demoed, I'm like, no, that's not the right way to do that. Or whatever. So there's room for improvement out there. And the Discord. The Discord is in the lower hand corner. If you're an artist, or if you just like to help people on their art projects, go ahead and join. People miss their old look. Very good, yeah. If you haven't caught it on the Heavy Metal Discord, a lot of my finished works get up on the Share Your Art channel. Oh, and now it's time. All right. Nice page of studies here. We're going to call it a day.